Welcome to Wine Soundtrack Canada. Listen to the passion with which producers narrate their winery and their world. In 30 Answers, discover their stories, personalities, and passions.
Hello, friends and listeners of Wine Soundtrack Canada. This is Christine Campbell. And today I am in North Vancouver sitting with none other than Lyndsay O'Rourke from Tightrope Winery. Welcome, Lyndsay. Can you please tell me a bit about Tightrope Winery?
Hi, Christine. Thanks for having me. Tightrope Winery is a small boutique winery on the Naramata Bench in the Okanagan, which is sort of the east side of Okanagan Lake, southern Penticton. It's family run. It's owned by myself and my husband, Graham. I'm the winemaker. Graham is the viticulturist. And we make wines from the Naramata Bench. We only use varieties that we think do well on the bench. And that's our main focus.
And your wines are exceptional. I tend to love them all. How many acres of land do you currently have?
As of today, we have about 28 acres.
And case production annually?
Right now, we're at about 3,800 to 4,000 cases a year. Production's been down a little bit the last few years, so yeah.
And what type of wine are you known for?
I think that we're known for very clean, fresh wines that are very varietally correct. And some of the ones that we're best well known for would probably be Riesling, Viognier, Syrah, Pinot Noir.
And your markets, are you international or are you BC focused or Canada wide?
We are Canada-wide, but I would say 85 to 90% of our wine is sold in British Columbia.
And is that through your tasting room or is that through online sales?
It's both. So we have a tasting room. Tasting room, we sell quite a large amount, probably almost 50%. And then we also have sales to licensees, restaurants, liquor stores, and stuff like that.
Lyndsay, what is your first memory relevant to wine in your childhood?
That's a good question. I would say, well, it's not kind of my childhood. It's when I lived in Whistler in my early 20s, and I went to a tasting at the Barefoot Bistro, and it was the Rothschild tasting, and so we had a flight of 6 or 7 wines all paired with the food, and that was my first real wine food pairing kind of memory for sure, and that stuck in my mind.
I would have liked to have been there. And what's the most memorable wine that you've drank over the years? And if you have one, can you recall the occasion?
Yes, actually. So this actually happened quite recently. I had my 50th birthday about 6 months ago, and I was given a bottle of 1970 Bordeaux first growth wine, and I decided, if you're going to open that on a good occasion, and what's a bigger occasion than your 50th birthday? So yes, we opened it, and amazing. It was actually really good. It was fantastic. It could have aged longer, believe it or not.
Really?
Really.
Ooh. Okay, so we've talked about Bordeaux. Traveling the world abroad, what is the best foreign wine that you've ever enjoyed? Is there a country that you tend to go to? And if you have a horrible wine country experience, that would be fun to hear about too.
That's a tough one. I've traveled in South Africa. New Zealand is where I went to school to learn how to grow grapes and make wine. And I've also been to Burgundy and Italy. I'm trying to think of all of those places had some great wine that you look back on. There's one wine that sticks in my mind a lot is the Hans Herzog Viognier from Marlborough. And that was sort of what we emulated our Viognier on as well. I just remember the lovely, beautiful, delicate bouquet and balance. And yeah, it's stuck in my mind for 20 odd years.
And yours is elegant and all of those things you just said. So perfect. You did a good job. What of your wines currently is giving you a lot of satisfaction that you keep going back to over and over again and you're happy with?
I would say The most recently one is our Riesling. It's been the most consistent wine of ours from 2012 to now, and it's all of them are just aging beautifully. And you go back and try back vintages, and I'm just impressed with how well they're aging and how nicely they're showing. So.
And Lyndsay, do you believe that there is a perfect variety of grape? Do you believe in that, or no?
No, I do not.
Nice and succinct. I like it. Okay, pretend that I'm not this person. What is your opinion of wine critics and scores?
Oh, it's, you know what, they're kind of a necessary, I don't want to say evil, because that's a bit dramatic, but I think that as a wine consumer, you should find a wine writer or critic that likes the same wines you do. And if if they rate a wine high and you taste that wine, you like it, you stick with them, because everybody has their own opinions of wine. So you really, go find one that you like and follow what they do.
So when it comes to sparkling wines of the world, do you tend to prefer champagne, or is there another sparkling wine from a different country that interests you as much?
I have to say champagne is it's right up there. That would be the best.
Do you have a champagne house that you quite enjoy?
Now you're really putting me on the spot here. No, I like to try them all. I have to say I don't stick with just one, and I like to try them all for sure.
That's always the right answer. Try them all. Try them all. Have you ever paired a white wine with red meat or a red wine with fish?
Definitely not a red wine with fish, no. And I'm a vegetarian, so I can't answer the meat question.
Awesome. I think you're my first vegetarian I've had on the show, so yay. If you've enjoyed that extra one glass of wine, do you have a cure for the dreaded hangover the next day?
Lots and lots of water. That's the only thing I've ever found that works. Lots and lots of water.
And what does a non-drinker lose out on by not tasting your wine?
Oh, wow. So it's like not tasting any wine, I guess. When you have that synergy of wine and food together, it's a beautiful thing, and it'd be disappointing that people would miss out on that.
Well, I think that they would be disappointed, because your wines are delicious, and I'm such a fan. I'm not trying to sound like such a fangirl, but I kind of am, and I can hear it. I've learned that some producers walk into their cellars and speak to their wine barrels. Do you? And if you do, what do you say? Or when you're in the vines, do you tend to speak to the vines in the vineyard?
No, I don't tend to speak to them, although I do go in with questions in my mind, wanting to know, like, how are you guys doing and where are we at? And those are the questions I have in my mind, and hopefully they can answer it for me when I'm out there.
Wouldn't that be wonderful if they could talk back? Yeah. It's like, when should we do this? Let's do that. Okay, Lyndsay, when you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a veterinarian when I was very young.
Did you pursue that at all?
I took agriculture at university the first time I went, and I actually did a wildlife management course, so kind of. I never fully followed through on the veterinarian thing, though, because I ended up working for a few vets and realized it probably wasn't for me.
And wanting to be a vet, I'm assuming you might have a couple of pets at your house?
Yes, we have a menagerie. We have 3 dogs, 2 cats, 2 budgies, a bearded dragon, and a whole bunch of fish, a koi pond, and a couple tanks of fish.
So you've got them around you, even though you're not a vet.
Yes.
Love it. When you're not working, other than looking after all your animals, how do you spend your free time?
The best time to free time, my favorite thing actually is to go for a hike in the woods with my dogs. That's my zen time. My happy place is out in the woods with my dogs.
And are you listening to music, or are you listening to the sounds of nature?
Usually the sounds of nature, yeah.
Do you do any sport in particular currently, and before now, were you into a specific sport?
I don't know, played soccer when I was younger, and I snowboarded when I lived in Whistler, and when I took up the winemaking and live in the Okanagan, I did triathlons for a couple of years. But now, like I said, it's mostly hiking in the woods with my dogs.
It sounds zen. We should go hiking together one time. Who is your favorite singer or musical group? Or one of them? It's really hard. I know these questions are a little on the spot, right?
Yeah, I listen to quite a large variety of music, but right now I've been gravitating towards Missio is one of my favorites right now, and almost anything that the Knox put out, I like to listen to that. So something that'll get you up and moving and doing stuff. So yeah.
So not very boring, slow music?
Not usually. No, that's not really me. No.
I knew I liked you. Do you have a favorite film dedicated to wine?
I can't think of there's the typical like Sideways and what was the other one?
Bottle Shock?
Bottle Shock, yeah. Sideways is pretty good, and I haven't actually watched a lot of wine movies lately, unfortunately. I should get on that.
Something to do, over the weekend, I guess.
Yeah.
For a very romantic evening, what wine would you see ordering for you and your husband?
Well, it would depend, I suppose, where we were and what we were eating. We would usually order a nice bottle of Burgundy, I think.
White or red?
Oh, sorry, red Burgundy, yes.
Are you a supporter of any sports teams?
Funnily enough, yes, we are. My husband and I play baseball. We play like beer league baseball, and Tightrope has sponsored the team this year.
Amazing. How about any pro sports teams?
Do we sponsor any?
No, are you a supporter, i.e. like are you into a certain sport and team in any professional avenue of sports around the world?
Not really. My husband's a big fan of rugby, so we'll watch a lot of rugby, and I grew up with rugby as well with my father, so we are always watching Rugby Canada. That's a big one. And then my son plays hockey, so we watch the Soyuz Coyotes, if anyone knows who that team is.
Nice. And if that team won, what bottle would you give them?
Oh, it'd have to be champagne of some sort, for sure.
Yes. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received? This can be in relation to your life, to becoming a winemaker, or any way you want to answer this question.
Oh, this is a tough one. These are one of these ones where you kind of should think about it for a bit. As far as wine making goes, and this is kind of, it's sort of a shallow answer, I suppose. Actually, someone said to me once, as far as winemaking goes, they said, always make a wine that you like to drink, because you might be stuck drinking it.
Well, that's not bad advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that's the advice you've received, do you have a piece of advice to offer the listeners of Wine Soundtrack Canada? And again, this could be about life, it could be about wine, it could be a motto that you kind of live your life by.
Since we're talking about wine, it's got my brain thinking that way. As far as wine goes, my advice is drink wine that you like and don't feel pressured to like something else. Wine is beautiful in that there's a wine out there for everybody, and there's so many different styles and types, and thousands of different wines, and there's a wine out there for everyone. So don't feel like if you don't like a wine that your friend likes, that's okay. Find the wine that you like and stick with it.
I think that is incredible advice. I really, really do, because there is a lot of pressure, peer pressure almost, when it comes to wine, and it can be viewed as a little snobby, and that's not what it is it?
Oh no, I that was our number one focus in our wine shop doing tastings with people, is to tell them that everything that they taste and smell is okay. There's no test at the end, and there's no right answer. So yeah, it shouldn't be snobby at all. It should be, that's how you enjoy wine, right? So yeah, shouldn't be stressing about it. You should just be enjoying it.
Yes, while you're drinking a nice glass of wine. What is your proudest achievement in your work?
I'm proud of the fact that we're still here 10 years on. It's been a very, I don't want to say long road, it's gone by very quickly, but it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of adapting to what's going on. There's been a lot of changes over the last 10 years, and the last 2 years with COVID have been pretty difficult. But to be where we are, at the position we are, where we're producing great wine, and the word's getting out there, and yeah, just the fact that we're still here and together 10 years on. So yeah.
Well, I know that I'm proud of you guys for getting your latest certification. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Right. So there's a new sustainability certification in British Columbia. It's the BC Sustainable Wine Growing Program. It's been 10 years in the making. My husband, Graham, has been on the committee for those last 10 years developing the program. And Tightrope was the first winery certified under the program. So we're really proud of that, and it's pretty exciting, and we hope it catches on, and all the industry gets behind it.
It's a huge achievement, absolutely huge. Okay, this is a fun one, a bit of a brain twister. Complete the sentence. A table without wine, not with wine, because it's always got wine, but a table without wine is like ...
An unfinished painting?
Ooh, I like it a lot. What sort of wines do you think, Lyndsay, that we will be enjoying in 2300?
Oh wow, I'm a bit of a traditionalist, I think, so I'm hoping that we still are able to enjoy the varieties that we drink now, and obviously there's always a new spin on things with, as time goes by, and different winemakers and techniques, but yeah, I'm hoping that, yeah, they're still around come that time.
Okay, well, on that vein, do you think we're still going to be drinking wine in 2,000 years' time?
Oh, I think so. People have been drinking wine for 2,000 years already, so I would think so, yeah.
Yay! Okay, I like this question. Name 3 wines that you would take with you to a deserted island, or if outer space is more your jam, whatever, either a deserted island or outer space, you can let us know what place you'd like to go and what 3 bottles of wine you would bring, or varieties.
Because I like all types of wine, I would probably bring a red, which would probably be a Pinot Noir, I think. And I'd have to bring some rosé, of course, because, you just rosé all day, you gotta have that. And then, of course, a bottle of white. That would be a tough to choose variety. Probably either a Riesling or a Chardonnay. I'd have to maybe draw one out of a hat to decide which one it would be.
Leaving it up to fate, I like it. What is a winemaking area in the world that you haven't yet explored and you would really like to?
I would love to go to Chile and explore down there. They have, a lot like BC, they have a lot of different little growing areas and little microclimates with lots of neat stuff going on, so I'd like to go down and check that out.
Okay, Lyndsay, we're not finished quite yet. It's now time for a game we like to play. I am going to pick some different wine varieties, and I'd like you to tell me a song that you would pair with that grape. You can choose a song, and if that is kind of dropping your mind or sending it for a bit of a loop, you can say a genre or an artist.
Okay.
And this is the wine soundtrack, so we have to have some music in here.
Okay.
Syrah.
Oh. What would I list? Syrah. It'd have to be something kind of heavy, but with some lighter tones to it.
Can be a band, a style of music.
Style of music? Well, because I mostly listen to alt rock, I suppose. Like I said, I think Missio would probably be pretty good with Syrah, for sure.
I'm gonna have to listen to them because I have no idea who that band is. I feel silly not knowing it, but I don't. Viognier.
I would listen probably to have you ever heard Best Friend by Sophie Tucker? Yeah, I would probably listen to that with the Viognier.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, last one, and I'm going to, of course, choose Riesling for you.
All right, Riesling. I'm trying to think of what I have on my playlist right now that would go with Riesling. I would put probably Weezer and all my favorite songs, which I would put with that.
Amazing! This question's so fun because I get to know a little bit about your music tastes too. Lyndsay, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you please tell us how we can find your wines? Can people come and visit your tasting room? And what is your website address and social media handles?
So we are on the Naramata Bench. Our wine shop is open year-round, if you like. The busy time is usually, we're open 7 days a week, is Easter to Thanksgiving. You can buy our wines on our website, which is at tightropewinery.ca, and all of our social handles are Tightrope Winery or at Tightrope Winery.
It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today, and keep doing what you're doing because you are an exceptional winemaker, and it really is an honor to not only interview you but call you a friend. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Christine.
Thanks for listening to a new episode of Wine Soundtrack Canada. For details and updates, visit our website, winesoundtrack.com.